A show having 8 seasons is a huge deal. 15? Even bigger. NCIS happens to have a total of 19 seasons. When a show goes on for such a long time, it's bound to have some problematic areas. But NCIS has quite a few parts that just don't make sense. Curious about what they are? We've got you covered. First up, is revenge a villain trait or a hero trait? When his wife Shannon and daughter Kelly were killed by the drug dealer Pedro Hernandez, Leroy Jethro was out on a mission. He went to Mexico and killed his family's killer as a form of revenge. When you're a criminal, there's something very wrong with your moral compass. Obviously, you wouldn't think twice before murdering a witness. But when you're a member of the United States Marine Corps, you're supposed to be the good guy. Revenge for a supposed hero figure is pretty uncommon, so Mr. Gibbs going out of his way to travel to Mexico and killing the drug lord seems pretty absurd, especially when he could have sent someone else to deal with the situation. Make a pick, man. Are you the hero or not? Next, Leroy Jethro Gibbs making rules that he ends up breaking anyway. Gibbs's regret over his involvement in the Hernandez case led him to create his own set of rules for his team, one of which was keeping secrets. The best way to keep a secret, keep it to yourself. Second best, tell one other person if you must. There's no third best. We're sure you remember that famous line, but did you notice he went against his own declaration when he confessed to his therapist and team members that he had committed murder for revenge? Perhaps he was just unlucky in love, because both the times he fell for someone, a villain stole them away from him. After the second time, he let his emotions control his actions, breaking his rule about not getting personally involved. He also had a rule about not screwing one's partner over, and although he didn't screw her over, there was some screwing involved in Jenny Shepard's case. But let's not get into that. The series wasn't even filmed where the NCIS headquarters was based. Yep, you heard that right. The NCIS headquarters were supposed to be in Washington, but the filming was conducted in a different state altogether, California. Is it just us, or does that make no sense? Shouldn't most of the series' action take place around the HQ? But the producers found a way to cover up this point. They sent agents on missions in other states, like Virginia. Now, Ziva's in her decision to go kosher. It's complicated. Practicing Jews commit themselves to consuming only kosher meat. Ziva was also shown to follow in her cultural and religious norms regarding meat. Well, at least sometimes. It seems she was in an on-and-off relationship with the concept of kosher. Sometimes she'd eat kosher, sometimes she wouldn't bother herself with the kind of meat she ate. Convenient, but a major flaw on the writer's part. If you're producing such a huge series, you should at least keep religious sentiments in mind. Friends, but old does it go? Ducky and Gibbs, who knew each other for 10 years, really talked like their relationship went way beyond that. Were the writers at odds with each other when they wrote the exchange between the two? According to the characters' words, they'd been friends for a decade, but when they started sharing memories, it sounded like oh so long ago when they first met. They should have just not mentioned the age of their friendship to spare us the confusion. Up next, Gibbs and Tobias. Do you know each other or not? Although they acted completely unaware of one another's existence prior to their meeting in the early episodes of NCIS, it turns out they're just great actors. Later on in the series, it's revealed that the two share an ex-wife. You'd have to live on a remote island to not hear about your ex-wife's new husband, but we know very well that Gibbs and Tobias both have been residing in the same state. Is there even really a need to suddenly create weird connections between characters? At least reread your own scripts before you write new ones. One keyboard, two computers. Yes, apparently technology has advanced so much that you can run two screens using only one keyboard, or that's what the makers of the series want you to believe. Remember the scene where Abigail got hacked? Yes, although it's great that NCIS shows pretty accurate forensics technology throughout the series, the hacking scene has surely made some people crack up. When Timothy McGee decided to help poor Abigail, maybe he should have used a separate keyboard, and not the same one that she was using. And the fact that the same keyboard was able to work for two screens? Insane. Now for bullets that change directions? Magic, we tell you, it was real magic. When Gibbs shot Hernandez, the scene showed the bullet going through the front windshield and going in the drug lord's forehead. But in Season 7, the scenes mysteriously changed. So now the bullet went through the open driver's window and entered the side of his skull. Is this yet another flaw on the part of the producers, or was it their way of showing how the incident affected Gibbs's mental health? We may never know. The character's faulty memory recall. Ah yes, the failing memory. Tony, who was very fond of his mother, may or may not have been a victim of a memory problem, because he said his mother used to dress him as a sailor till the age of 10. If you think dressing her kid as a sailor is the weirdest part of this, think again. Tony's mother died when he was just 8, so he was either hallucinating for 2 years afterwards, ghosts, or there was some serious supernatural activity taking place here. Take your pick. Also, Gibbs's flashbacks of his life with his dead family are problematic. We can see Kelly wearing a t-shirt with the NCIS logo on it, but the girl died way before her father joined NCIS. Maybe she bought her shirt from a fortune teller, but that wouldn't explain Gibbs's white hair. He was a young man with colored hair when his family was alive. Or was he reimagining his life, replacing his former self with his current version? That and his daughter bought the shirt from a fortune teller stall. No, that's too far-fetched. This is definitely a shortcoming on the producer's part. Don't piss the bodies off. A lot of times, Ducky conducted autopsies, and mostly he was wearing normal clothes. Yes, the ones you'd wear to a desk job. And he didn't wear gloves. Ducky's job is very important for every case he works on, so if his unprofessional behavior has led to the contamination of bodies, he may have distorted the evidence of more than one case. Yikes. And although the corpse is unlikely to show disapproval for being poked and prodded in such unsanitary conditions, you know, being dead and all, it's still very unprofessional behavior on Ducky's part. Next, a boat that teleports. Ladies and gentlemen, the boat Leroy Jethro Gibbs was building in his basement for years has recently been found to have the power to teleport. Not really, but then how did he manage to bring the boat out of his closed basement into the water? And in perfectly great condition, too. Fans feel disappointed because they'd formed a connection with the basement boat, and many were hoping to see how Gibbs brought it out to use for the first time. The poor boat didn't spend much time in freedom before it exploded into pieces, taking its creator along with it to the afterlife. To save a child or have one of your own. Couple fights are normal and possibly healthy, but not when the argument jeopardizes someone's safety. Kenzie and Deeks' fight in Season 9 was all sorts of crazy because instead of focusing on rescuing the little boy from danger like they were assigned to, they were busy disagreeing with one another about the extension of their little family. That could have waited till after the boy was safe, couldn't it? With the right attitude, you can evade fraud charges. In Season 8, when Nick stole McGee's credit card, bought inflatable dolls and video games with it, and was caught by DiNozzo and McGee, what happened? Yes, you guessed right, nothing. No charges, no payback, nothing. Fraud and theft are punishable offenses, yet the two NCIS officers let the guy off the hook, with his last words being, "Talk to my mother, man." Completely ridiculous. Now on to comments that were just not needed. In episode 12 of Season 1, when DiNozzo and Kate begin discussing tattoos on women, Anthony makes a judgmental and, frankly, unneeded remark about how women who get tattoos are up for anything. And when Kate mentioned Abigail's tattoo, he refused to comment. Misogynistic comments and double standards, was there really a need? That's a wrap for this video. Did you notice any other loophole that we didn't mention? What are your thoughts about the hacking and bullet changing direction incidents? What part of the series confused you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.